Am I the a-hole for refusing to keep helping out after I was pushed out of my job? So for context, I was working at my mom's office for 7 years, managing everything and also helping my mom with anything written, as she's not native to the country we live and worked at together. That would mean writing papers, correcting her grammar, etc., so she would maintain a professional outlook to the outside world. Nothing much of work, honestly, when it came to writing, as I was born and raised here. I know it's not easy for an immigrant to adapt to a new culture and still being successful in her career. It's been over 30 years for her now, and she's basically fluent speaking, went to become a business owner, managed to build a house, which can be very expensive in the area we live in. A couple of months ago, she sold her business but stayed there as an employed CEO. The new owner decided that I was not needed anymore, and for the sake of selling it, she went along with it. Meanwhile, I took over my dad's business, which was being abandoned for years due to his dementia, and trying to build everything up from scratch while also taking care of him, as I live close by to him. My parents live separately, so she can't go see him every day due to the distance of her work and living environment. Also, I am the one in charge of family finances, taxes, etc. for both of them on top. Now my mom wants me to keep helping her writing papers and letters remotely, and I refused, pointing out that I am no longer part of her workforce and that I have a lot of other obligations to attend to. She keeps getting angry at me, telling me it's my duty as her daughter to help her out, that she pays the house with the money she makes, and I am the one benefiting as I'll inherit parts of it. So she says she's obliged to demand for me to partake, which means coming in on weekends to check her work for now, and later on working from a laptop remotely to proofread everything. I told her that's a task she now has to give somebody else, which she refuses, partly to save her face, but also because she's not good in handling giving orders to others, besides me, I guess. Also, it takes away my free time. I'd have to also adapt to their new software and network environment, and I'm not getting paid for that. So, am I the a-hole for drawing a line? Now for the top comments. Mom, my contracting rate is X dollars per hour. I can't believe you're asking me to work for free. It's crazy how she's acting like a job offer comes with a birth certificate. Girl, that's your daughter, not your intern. Yeah, I feel like my time is being taken for granted. Your mother should have negotiated for you to keep your job when selling the business. She couldn't be arsed to do that. Too bad, so sad. You sound super busy, so it doesn't even look like you have that time to give away. You should only agree to help if you are paid a high consulting wage. I'm thinking mother's saving face probably included downplaying what OP had been helping her with. Nah, they knew my work and position already, as they wanted to buy the company a few years prior, but the deal went sour as their offer was, bluntly speaking, shitty. So I dodged a bullet back then, because the numbers weren't numbering, and that's for sure what played into their decision as well to not hire me. Not the a-hole. The new owners chose to not employ you any longer. If they have an issue with it, then it is on them. Your mom is a jerk for trying to guilt you into working for free. My grandma is the exact same way. I think that's how my mom got taught to do the modus operandi. Trying to break this cycle with codependency and guilt tripping, but I want to be gentle about it. She's still my mom at the end of the day. So she's the CEO but not good at giving orders? Nah, she let you be fired. No reason for you to help. No, I can believe that she's not good at giving orders, because it sounds like OP was basically doing all of her work for her. She got to where she was on OP's back and is now in a position she's unqualified for and no OP to cover for her. She had around 7 years, minimum, to learn the skills she was using OP for, but didn't bother. I doubt she's going to suddenly start learning to actually do the job. I agree that her mom's career is no longer OP's concern. She needs to focus on herself and her own future, especially now that she's shed the dead weight. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my stepsister move in after she got kicked out, even though my dad says I should be the bigger person? I, 26 female, live alone in a small 2-bedroom apartment. I got it after years of saving, working retail, and finishing my degree part-time. It's nothing fancy, but it's my peace, my space, and the first real independence I've had. My dad remarried when I was 18, and his wife has a daughter, Kayla, 25 female. We were the same age, but couldn't be more different. She was always popular, always had friends and parties, and made it very clear I wasn't her real sister. She'd mock my clothes, my books, even my voice. I basically stayed out of her way. We haven't spoken much in years, just the occasional forced small talk at holidays. Suddenly last week, I get a call from my dad saying Kayla and her boyfriend broke up, she got kicked out of their place, and she needs somewhere to stay just until she figures things out. I said no, instantly. This is my space. She's never been kind to me. She's never supported me. And now I'm supposed to turn my life upside down for her? My dad went off on me, saying I'm being cold, selfish, and that real family doesn't turn their back when things get hard. He told me Kayla's really trying to change, and this would be a good opportunity to start over. I told him I'm not interested in playing rehab facility for someone who treated me like garbage and only comes around when she needs something. Now I've got my stepmom texting me guilt trips, my dad barely speaking to me, and Kayla posting vague, "some people ain't loyal" crap on social media. Am I the a-hole for protecting my peace? Not the a-hole. Just because someone is technically family doesn't mean they get a free pass into your life. Your dad doesn't get to volunteer your home because he feels guilty about her. Good for you for having a spine. Thanks. That's exactly how I feel. I get that she's struggling, but that doesn't erase the years she treated me like crap. I worked hard for this space, and I'm not giving it up just because my dad can't say no to her. I'm not her backup plan. You should tell your dad to take her in if it's so important. It honestly sounds like they're pawning her off on you. Otherwise, they would have bought her a ticket home. Not the a-hole. Honestly, if she moves in, she'll never leave, and you'll be footing the bill, picking up after her, and getting blamed when she blows up again. Hard pass, not the a-hole times 100. That's exactly what I'm afraid of. Once she's in, there'll be excuses nonstop. No job yet, no money, just a little longer. And somehow I'll end up the villain when I finally say enough. No thanks. I've worked too hard for peace just to hand it over. She'll never leave. Your parents will abandon her to become your problem, and she will make you miserable. A few days of fighting with them now is worth it to avoid what will definitely be years of volatility. Not the a-hole. If your dad and her mom are so concerned, they can have her stay with them or pay for her rent. You don't have a real relationship with her. Biggest proof of that is the fact that your dad called you to ask. She couldn't even bother to ask because she knew what the answer would be. Don't get guilted. You have done nothing wrong. She didn't even ask me. She made my dad do it because she knew I'd say no. That alone shows the kind of relationship we have. I'm not being mean. I'm just not letting people take advantage of me. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not letting my sister and her friends have my house for her birthday weekend? I, 25 female, live in the basement unit of my friend's house. It is a completely separate unit and I pay rent. However, the big backyard is a shared space. My younger sister Teresa, 22 female, still lives at home with my parents, which is about 20 minutes from my house. It's Teresa's birthday on the upcoming long weekend, and she has asked me to give up my house from Friday to Monday so she and 12 of her friends, who I've met maybe once, can party without my parents being around. I told her I would be fine with them staying for one night of the weekend, either Saturday to Sunday or Sunday to Monday, but I did not want to give up my place for the entire weekend. She said that wouldn't work because her friend Samantha has her birthday a day later, and they both want a full weekend of partying. Therefore, they need both Saturday and Sunday, and can't leave Sunday night. Teresa usually has her birthday celebration at our cottage, but it's under renovations this year and unavailable. I've seen how the cottage looks after one of their weekends. It's absolutely trashed, not cleaned, with stains and food everywhere, and the floor is sticky from old drinks. My parents never say anything to make Teresa see how inconsiderate that is, so she continues to do it. She suggested alternatives, like having everyone tent in the backyard and saying they won't bother me if I'm there, but they would still need to use my kitchen and bathroom. And there's no way 12 people aged 22 are going to see 2 bedrooms and not use the beds. After 3 days of partying, I'm sure someone will end up puking, and I don't trust that they'd clean it up, either in the backyard or my bathroom. Also, since the backyard is shared, I don't feel comfortable allowing a bunch of random people to be out there for 3 days straight, when my friend, who owns the house, will likely want to use it too. Teresa's now mad at me, calling me an a-hole for not letting her party in my backyard and basement unit all weekend. She says she'll now do nothing for her birthday because all cottages or campsites within a 5-hour drive are booked. I told her it's not my fault she and her friends decided to start planning a week and a half before the long weekend. I think my offer of one night is generous enough, considering I don't know any of her friends well, and I know I'll be cleaning up after them the next day. She refuses to party for just one night though. So, am I the a-hole for not letting my sister use my house for the full long weekend for her birthday? Not the a-hole. First of all, it's not your property to lend out, let alone the risk and liabilities of random folks drinking and tearing up the place. Sister needs to check her entitlement. Tell her to rent an Airbnb. It won't cost much divided by 12 people. That way, there will be financial consequences if they trash the place. There's no way you would ever collect on a cleaning fee or damaged items. Unless sister and friends give OP $900 up front to cover cleaning, mishaps, and laundry. It won't happen because sister is spoiled and always has her own way. Don't leave your place that weekend in case she comes over anyway. Not the a-hole. Tell her your landlord said no. End of discussion. Came to say this too. No doubt the landlord would say no anyway to 12 people partying even one night. Sister has a history of being a sloppy drunk who destroys property, so why would anyone allow them to access to their place for 5 minutes? Why feel bad about saying no to a sloppy, entitled, vomiting drunk? And as soon as you say no, she turns on you? Oh hell no. Sis can get the heck out of here. You would be responsible for the mess and any damage those hoes make, and maybe wind up with an eviction notice. Sis would probably just say, oops, sucks to be you. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for my niece's dream quinceañera, even though I promised to help with it 2 years ago? I'm a 36-year-old woman, and I make a decent income. I've always tried to be generous with my family. A couple of years ago, my brother, who is 38, mentioned that his daughter, my niece Jules, was really looking forward to her quinceañera when she turned 15. He was having a tough time financially, so I casually said something like, when the time comes, I'd love to pitch in or help however I can. Fast forward to this year, and Jules is about to turn 15. I get hit with a full wedding-style event proposal. My brother and sister-in-law sent me a PDF presentation, a literal deck, outlining a $23,000 budget. We're talking venue, catering, DJ, designer dress, fireworks, and even a horse-drawn carriage. I was stunned. I told them I couldn't contribute that much, and they said, we just need $15,000 from you. I thought they were joking. When I said that was out of the question, my brother got defensive and said I promised to help, and now I was backing out? I offered $2,000, which I thought was still generous, and said I could help with logistics or DIY decorations. Now I'm the stingy aunt who crushed Jules's dream. Even my mom called me and said I should have expected this since I make more than all of us combined. I feel like they took advantage of my casual offer from 2 years ago. I never said I would pay for the whole party or bankroll a mini wedding. Am I the a-hole for saying no? Now for the top comments. It's $2K or nothing. That's the final offer. She can get realistic expectations or be pissy. You could make 10 times more than everyone combined. That doesn't give them the right to reach into your pocket. I'm not refusing to help. I'm just refusing to be taken for granted. My $2,000 offer was generous, thoughtful, and honest. If that makes me the villain, maybe they were never really grateful in the first place. It absolutely was. And the fact that her parents didn't put an immediate end to her absurd expectations is their total parenting failure is not your problem. You are generous. Now it's time to tell them that in light of their treatment of you, that offer is off the table as well. Not the a-hole. Right? What the heck kind of parents are totally cool with spending $23,000 on one party when they're not even anywhere near the tax bracket where $23,000 is nothing to them? My parents do okay and would have had the full amount to spare for that dream quince without relying on others. But they would also never tolerate such financial irresponsibility and would be disgusted and disappointed if I did. What happened to teaching kids the value of money? If they're setting baby girl up to think a $23,000 quince is okay, when she gets married, she's going to think nothing of sinking $100,000 into debt for her wedding. Not the a-hole. I know it's a big deal, but it should be party and photos. That Hollywood production proposal is for A-listers. I even offered to throw her a beautiful, heartfelt celebration with music, decorations, and cake. But they weren't after a quinceañera. They wanted a spectacle on someone else's dime. Last story. Am I the a-hole for taking a job that's twice the amount I've ever made and would solve my financial problems? God offered a job for over $60,000 a year. Only problem is, I'd have to work weekends. My girlfriend works Monday to Friday and has weekends off. Her one requirement is that I also don't work weekends. It has made my job search significantly more difficult, and I said screw it and went to an interview anyway. They offered me the job and I want to take it, but now she is freaking out. I've been in a financial hole for years now, and this job would help bring me out of it. I've been depressed for years due to finances. This would be life-changing for me. We have lived together for 8 years, and she said we are done if I accept this job. She'd rather have me make $40,000 a year for now, if it means I get weekends off for us to spend together. This job also has full benefits, which I have never had. I need health and dental, etc. Would I be the a-hole to accept the job? She keeps saying I'm being unreasonable and choosing money over her. Edit. She's always made more money than me and has supported me financially at times more than I'd like to admit. I've always been less financially stable than her, and recently we bought a house because she didn't want to keep living in an apartment and wanted to have nicer things in life. It's become harder now that we live in a house. She pays most of the mortgage, but I pay the electric, water, internet, etc. I do all the cleaning, housework, yard work, fixing up the house, etc. Now we are both struggling, but I just need a better job to help out more. Obviously, she doesn't want me taking this job because of the weekend thing, and she said I could just find a different job where I can make more money working Monday to Friday, like going into a trade and such. The job I was offered was a restaurant manager for a popular franchise, which suits me since I've managed restaurants in the past. We are 26 female and 28 male. I've been in a financial hole for years now, and this job would help bring me out of it. You don't have the luxury of passing up this job. Exactly. What girlfriend doesn't want their boyfriend to be financially sound? A selfish one. Do what is best for you. If she truly loved you, she would understand the benefits in the long run. Making more money and getting you out of your financial problems is the top priority.